Hello and welcome back to the alpha stream of the EGL and Europa Halo 2v2 Spring Series. I'm Joe Sketch and I'm joined here now by one of our North American casting talents, Garrett Tools. It's quality to have you on board. Just a quick shout out to the French who just streamed beforehand. But Garrett, it's nice to be casting with you here.
Hey, you know what? American talent, but I strive every day to be a part of my EU brethren. I will be there soon. Don't worry about it. I'm working on that honorary title, but guys, it's great to be here, man. I love some 2v2 action, and it's great to see, the talent that's coming over across the sea. And, I'm not able to watch it as much as I'd like, so it's great to wake up in the morning and be able to catch some of the best EU players go at it.
Yeah, is there any of these teams which you might have a bit of knowledge about who you're trying to look for going into this series? I'm sure you might know about Cartel, Shady. Well, I mean, everybody knows about Cartel.
Hey, Cartel. It's honestly, to me, it'll be a surprise if, those Cartel duos, if anyone beats them, because they just look so damn good. Like, I just cannot believe how well they play Halo compared to everything else, because compared to everyone else, because I see them as a competitor for a top 4 spot when it eventually comes. I think they can absolutely come over when LAN comes, and they will absolutely dominate all these other AM teams, and they'll have their chance at possibly winning a tournament when we see ourselves back in the LAN environment. I think they're just that damn good.
I mean, Garrett, if you want to try and get that honorary EU title, that's definitely a good way to do it, by saying that Cartel will be doing and trying to win one of these tournaments. But going on to the series, we'll be casting now. We're into the winners bracket semi-finals, and one of our squads we've just seen on the stream, that's Late Bloomers. They're going to come up against Divine Mind. So Late Bloomers had an absolutely crazy series. It went to an overtime just before their quarterfinal game. But this squad of Divine Minds, Fireboy and Sticker, they placed top 2 in the last tournament. They gave a pretty good showing against Cartel as well. We're just on stream now looking at the maps in this series. So it's going to be a Truth, Regret, and Plaza. But for me, Garrett, I think this Divine Mind squad, even though the momentum might be the Late Bloomers, they had a really, really clutch series against Cruz and Kronos. It's gonna be Divine Mind, I think, are gonna come out on top. But just to back that up, we've got a Fireboy stats here for you, Garrett. So talk to me about what you think how this series is gonna go.
Well, this is gonna be interesting because I've known Fireboy for a while now. I saw him make his entry during the Halo Draft League days, where I believe he was just a young 14, 15-year-old lad coming into the series. And it's incredible to see his progression, because, back a couple years ago, he was just your average matchmaking player. Didn't really have anything that was special about him. And I feel like his growth over the last year has put himself in a position where he can regularly make these opportunities to place high in these 2v2 tournaments. And I think we'll eventually see those results come over to 4v4. But same thing with Sticka. Sticka has been just nothing but impressive to me as well. I think, once again, he's just up and coming. He knows what he needs to do to get it done. He's grinding. And so far, I think we're seeing the results on our screen. From what I saw from Late Bloomers in the game before, that I think they eked out a win. I don't think it was deserved necessarily, but we'll see if they can take on these two, Sticka and Fireboy, because I'm really impressed with these young two.
I think the difference between Kronos and Cruz and these two players in Fireboy and Sticker, which Late Bloomer is going to find out relatively shortly, is Fireboy and Sticker, they're well practiced together as a 2v2. Kronos and Cruz, that was their first time playing as a 2v2 in this spring series. Fireboy and Sticker placed top 2 in the last game as well, or the last tournament as well. So I think that their quality as players are going to be right up there with Kronos and Cruz, maybe even better individually, but their teamwork, though, Garrett, is going to be even better as well. This is probably our top 2v2 players, our second best 2v2 team right now, until we maybe see some other Cartel members or some of our other top players, like players on EGIF, come in for 2v2 2v2 scene. But Fireboy and Sticker, outside of Cartel, outside the Cartel 2 squad, are the team to beat. And Late Bloomers, no matter how they won that last series, it was a close one. And this series, for me, Divine Minds are going to come out swinging and they're going to win this one 2-0. We're going to jump on board with the gameplay now, Garrett. It's going to be Undetonza on our stream first. So you've made some great clutch plays in that last series. But right now, it's all about securing that camo as well. They secured it towards the end of the last game. But Fireboy's already taken out his teammate here. So now Camo is burnt off the map and Undetonza is already trying to run away with his tail between his legs.
Yeah, and we're seeing what the big difference is between this Divine Mind roster and the team that Late Bloomers played in the previous round, right? The Undetonza, he's not going to be able to just stand around and survive while being made one shot 2-3 times. Fireboy and Sticka, they're very aggressive players. They know how to take advantage of live situations, of health situations. They're not going to let you stay alive for long. And Fireboy, he's coming up on a piv fight, and that's what I love to see. Keep the reticle calm, put it up, and take him down. What a series of lives from Fireboy and Sticka. They're really putting them on the cycle now. This is exactly what you wanted to see from this Divine Mind roster.
And straight away after that kill as well, Garrett, Fireboy just decided, you know what, I'm going to push straight away. He knew his teammate was going towards that top middle spot. I'm going to push towards P, lock these guys in the back blue, and we're going to soar in. Here's to now just get a one-on-one kill with Sticker, but Sticker sort of overextended before Fireboy could give him some help. So it should be a 1v1 on the side of the blue base, but it does look like Here's to now is going to back away. So despite the 1v1 situation in that side of things, and Fireboy getting towards his team late, they're reacting well. They're not sitting on their laurels, they're not staying in the bases. They're trying to get top mid control whenever they can. And immediately we can already see the passive style come in from Late Bloomers. They're not as confident going into this series, maybe rightly so. Sticker and Fireboy both really, really good 1v1 players. And straight away as well, they're back tunneled into this blue base, just allowing the push to come in from Sticker and Fireboy. And that's happening right now. A nice 1v1 coming in forward. Both players starting to back away. I'd like to see some teammates come out for the help as well, as Fireboy does get the clean up, a reversal onto Here's now. And he's got Undetonza back, fighting back, but Sticker's got his back as well, Garrett. And that's some nice fresh kills on the board with Fireboy and Sticker. They're giving the pressure towards this Late Bloomers and straight away back on it again. The pressure's already back on the side and Late Bloomers locked into red base this time.
Yeah, Late Bloomers, they gotta figure out how to grow a spine, because right now them standing still in the back of bases waiting for collapses, waiting for Divine Minds to make the move, it's a losing recipe, man. It's just not the way to go about it. They need to have confidence in their own shot. They have to say, hey, look, Fireboy, he's not a legend, he's not shady, he's not gonna come up in my face and never lose a gunfight. Put the pressure on these young two, make them out pistol you. And so far we just haven't seen that. It's just been Late Bloomers turtling up in the base, waiting for Fireboy and Sticker to make the mistake. And when you have a more experienced 2v2 pair, they're just not gonna do it. And that's why our score reflects that statement.
Yeah, and Sticker does have the camo as well. If we can jump on board with him, he's still got about half it left. Curse for Caster, though, he does get taken down as soon as I say that. But I think the difference in this game from the last one, Late Bloomers are playing similar to how they played against Kronos and Cruz, but Cruz and Kronos weren't as patient as Fireboy and Sticker, and they made a lot of individual 1v1 pushes, whereas now, turning up or maybe playing too close to each other for Here's now and Undetonza isn't working out, because Fireboy and Sticker know exactly how to break these base setups you might have in place. It's a nice one-on-one trade there from Undetonza, but realistically at 13-4 score, you can't be making trades. At that point, you need to be working with your team to get 2 kill collapses without dying. We're on board with Sticker. He's going to wait for his teammate to come back up. It's about a minute until the next camo now, Garrett. It might slow down slightly whilst Fireboy's trying to regain this fight. But again, I'm seeing Here's now and Undetonza. Where are they? One's in blue base. One does make his way to P side. But that play in P side is going to be located right away from this red team. It should be cleaned up straight away. But saying that, Undetonza does come in with a nice team shot and does get a kill back of that as well. So nice double from Undetonza. But again, it's a long, long way to come back into this game.
Here we go. I mean, they're coming back. It's just, I just wasn't a huge fan of that push right there. Like, I understand you're feeling confident. You think that you can push and win any gunfight, but when your teammates on the exact opposite base, you know they're spawning car bubbles and you're not going to have an opportunity for collapse or help. Taking the 1v2 is just a way to stunt your momentum, and I feel like that's what's happened. Now we're just going to see a 2-on-2 battle for the camouflage, and Late Bloomers have to win this one, but Fireboy smartly takes a different angle, finds the 5-star on Tonza. The camo's in the hands of Late Bloomers, but it's quickly taken out, and that's textbook play. That's called bait in the camouflage. Fireboy and Sticker know how to do it well, and they stop the comeback from really materializing early from Late Bloomers.
Yeah, if it was even a comeback on the cards there as well, Garrett, it was seemed to be a clutch of a last second to try and get that camouflage. I would have liked to see Andy Tonza try and not shoot, because as soon as he made that melee attack, even if he got that kill, Fireboy or whoever was left in that gunfight would have cleaned him up. But now it's in Fireboy in a 1v1 against Here's Now. Here's Now's got to reload it, and unfortunate times for Fireboy to just get that clean up, so even the 1v1s are going on the side of Divine Minds. They're playing really, really good now, and I don't even think they've heated up. Garrett. I think this is just them playing textbook 2v2s. It's for them almost is just a walk in the park. They know that their focus is going to be on that Cartel, maybe one of the top 3 squads. Maybe we see Mister and Marine make a run for the bracket. They might be challenged for this Fireboy and Sticker squad. So I don't think they're necessarily playing as well as hot as they should be against those teams, because they are losing some individual gunfights which they don't expect to lose. So it is a nice few plays from Here's Down and Tonza, but despite that, they still find themselves 8 kills down in this game, Garrett.
See, that's a much better angle. This is what we should have saw before when we saw the similar situation. The only difference between what happened at this time and 2 minutes ago is that the help was there. They weren't stranded and away from each other. It's about being separate and being together, right? You have to have each other's angles while being far enough away that there are no escape routes, and that's what they're doing well. And if they can keep doing this, get them on rotation. Fireboy and Sticker are quick to frustration. If you get in their head and you break down their mental gameplay, that's when you can really make the difference.
Yeah, we've got to make it there in the first place as well. Camo's going to be up. Now we're on board with Andy Tonza. He does have P control, and his teammate is in blue, locking Fireboy towards a carbine side. His other teammates around middle of the map. Maybe they can just wait for the red base, but Here's Now's fallen at a crucial time. Sticker's down there with Camo. It's going to be a grab from Andy Tonza. He does make the right call, but again, he's made the right call, and he's still knocked down in this series. Camo's off the map, but Fireboy and Sticker are going to react straight away. Sticker's blocking red base, which means that both Fireboy and Sticker know where they're going to be spawning. They're going to be spawning on this blue side towards Carbine Squad, and again, like we've said many times in this game, Garrett, Here's Now and Andy Tonza find themselves locked in this blue base without really a breakaway. They do try to make it towards P2, but it's a bit too late. Here's Now's taken down, so that's a nice kill from Fireboy, and it means Andy Tonza's left alone with both the red team players onto my mind hunting him down.
That's beautiful from both Fireboy and Sticker, right? They didn't really have each other's help whatsoever. That's just pure individual talent. That's pure hitting your shots. Fireboy, I don't think he missed one from that P2 position. He really he got the first pick and allowed Sticker just to feel comfortable to push in by himself. And Sticker, I mean, he's obviously feeling very comfortable. We see him fly in from car door into that base. Unfortunately, not able to secure that kill. And now Fireboy, the Uno reversal card has been pushed, if you catch my drift, because he is just stuck at top mid. But really, late bloomers, I just gotta learn your nades. You gotta be more confident in your ability to take down players standing top middle, because look at this, Fireboy stays alive and wins the game. You just can't allow players to stay alive at top middle. If there's a player that's one shot, you better know your grenades, land it at the feet, force them out, and hit your last headshot. That's just inexcusable when we're 5 years into a game.
Yeah, and I mean, just looking on board with those stats there, Fireboy playing his life so well that first game of our series. But it is going to be a win there for Divine Minds, 1-0. Nice, clean play from Fireboy and Sticker for sure. 16-4 kills for Fireboy. He was really the star of that show, and he definitely shouldn't have stayed alive for so long top middle. It's about 20 seconds where he didn't get the kill. It allowed the Sticker to re-challenge, come back off of spawn, regroup with Fireboy, get the last slays, and it's going to be a wake-up call for the late bloomers. They, as you said, they played a really, well, to me, I think they played a really good series, a really fun series to watch at least, against Ridden, which is a French squad. They played in the last game, but the same plays they can't be making against Fireboy and Sticker. This is just an upper echelon of talent in EU, especially in 2v2s. These players are playing really well now. Going on board with this regret game, it's all about trying to get that first initial OS. After that, it's just going to be spiral out of control. You do not want to be in a situation where you're being split spawned by Fireboy and Sticker, because even in a 1 versus 2 situation for Sticker or Fireboy, they're still going to get a trade. They're shooting really well. So Garrett, going into this one, is there anything Andy Tonza and Here's Now can do? What's their best chance to get back into this game?
Be confident, be knowledgeable, right? One thing I really want to see these two do is just feel a lot more confident about taking an individual gunfight. I don't think I saw Fireboy lose 1v1. He won every pivotal fight. You got to shut him down right away. And the other thing is be knowledgeable about the spawns. Be confident that you know when you can collapse, and when you have the split spawns, force it as much as possible. When you find a 1v2, collapse on it. Regret's one of the most punishing maps in the game. Be the one to punish, don't get punished.
Yeah, and I think Undeton's and Here to Now have got a good team shot. I think maybe they were a bit shaky going to the start of that game and it spiraled out before they could even get any sort of foothold on the map. But I really want to see them utilize any sort of map control at all. Because for most of that first game, and admittedly Fireboy and Sticker putting a lot of pressure onto them, but in most of that first game, Garrett, we saw them maybe stuck at car bubble or in one of the bases, not making any push forwards, and then that just allows pressure to come to you. And maybe against a weaker squad, that pressure's not going to come into full play. But against a squad like Fireboy and Sticker, that's just going to be the end of your game.
Well, I mean, if you can't withstand pressure, then you don't deserve to be in the finals, right? I mean, we're in the semifinals. We're trying to get to that winner's final. If you can't withstand the pressure of Fireboy and Sticker, I'm sorry, there's no way you're going to be able to withstand the pressure of a pair from like Cartel. And this is your opportunity to say, hey, like, we belong. We know that we're better. We know that we have confidence in our shot. You know, they have more 2v2 experience, but at the end of the day, that shouldn't matter. Like, be more confident that you have the shot that can win and say, hey, all we have to do is win some pivs, get together, get the clean shots off. But this overshield, the first one, like you said, it's so important. We're going to see who's able to grab it, and it's going to be a quick burn from the side of Late Bloomers. Not their ideal start, but that still does leave the overshield killer, the plasma pistol, left to grab. That's going to be the second most important thing on the map. If you can keep that thing in the back of your mind, make sure that you have it ready on rotation and that you control the pea shooter for most of the game, you'll be in a great position to take it. But right, once again, we're just seeing trade outs early on, and it's going to be probably the next 2 minutes where we'll see that overshield come up and really play the difference maker.
You know, you can say it might be a smart play from Here to Now to just go soar straight for the burn, because him making that play, he knew that he was going to burn that OS. But you might say that it's a bit of lack of confidence, that they didn't think they could win the 2-on-2 gunfight for that OS. So it's a bit of a double-edged sword in that situation. Yeah, you got the OS burn, but also you gave them the kill, you know. If you really valued your team shots, you would have think you're probably winning this OS off the start of the spawn. But so far, we're seeing it's a bit scrappy at the start of this game. Now Garrett on board with Here to Now. He does get some top mid control. His teammates locking down Stick. It should be a nice clean up for them. They do have the lead in this series, so it is a nice start from Here to Now Tons. We didn't see that in the last game, and hopefully off the back of that, they might be able to try and locate these spawners, but it's a nice job again now from the red team, just sort of slow playing, making sure they regroup together. It's still early doors in this game. Here to Now Tons are now being forced to try and seek out the spawners, seek out the players on the red team, and so far, despite no gunshots being placed, it's been a switch of a map control, and Fireboy and Sticker have top mid control, Garrett.
Oh, I mean, that was a beautiful play from Fireboy. I mean, knowing that he had a split spawn and his only real option to fix that scenario was to go down through car one, go through needles, get to your teammate at the opposite base, and then play together. I mean, that was a great example of how to break a control on a map. Late Bloomers, though, that's on them, because it took a substantial amount of time for Fireboy to get in a position to help Sticka while you had top mid control. You have to punish. You have to be listening. Astro's cranked. Make sure that if he's not stutter stepping through car one, you hear him, you collapse in, and you know when the split spawn happens. To me, that's just a lack of knowledge of the situation. It allows Fireboy to find a couple kills, gain the map control, get the overshield, and start putting this game out of reach.
Let's jump on board with Fireboy here, who's got the OS. He's sitting top mid, sitting pretty comfortably here. And again, now with OS on this side, Fireboy's going to take the reactive stance. His teammate does get taken down around him, so he's left in a 1 versus 2, and he does get cleaned up. So nice team shot from Here to Now. So Here to Now and Undeton's doing all they can do in that situation, isolating both players on the side of Divine Minds. They do get a nice set of slaves. They're still in this game as well. So despite OS control, it's actually Here to Now and Undeton's are coming out in favour in those kills, Garrett. So once again, we see Fireboy make the same play. He's gone needles to regroup with his teammate Sticker. Sticker's left alone top middle, but it's deciding to try and focus on his 1v1 fight. It's a big kill there to change the side of things. A nice perfect from Here to Now. That's a perfect situation for the side of Late Bloomers as well. They take the lead 8-7, and Fireboy's left alone on this car side. He should be cleaned up, and he does. No trades on the side of Divine Minds as well, so it's a 2-kill lead. And that OS grab, despite it going on the side of Divine Minds, it's for the time being Late Bloomers taking the lead.
Yeah, that's a beautiful series of events for Late Bloomers right there. It's great team play. It's great individual execution. And it's also great recovery. We saw Here's to Now was in that blue window. He was feeling the pressure. He wasn't quite sure where the challenge was going to come from. He decides to reload at the inopportune time. He figures out a way to recover, finds the perfect 5 shot to get the reversal medal with it, and that gave them that bit of momentum boost. And what I noticed we saw was it gave him confidence. We saw him have no problem pushing to the face of Fireboy, where Fireboy's been winning all of those fights. That time around, not the case. And you know, feeling so confident that he jumps in front of Tonza's shots. He's gonna go down. Fireboy gonna be credited with that kill. But once again, this overshield's coming up, and Fireboy just spawned in the perfect position just to have the eyes on it. But here we go. We see Here's to Now underneath, and he's on top of it, and he's gonna get it. That's the first overshield we're gonna see from Late Bloomers. Now the question is, can they punish? We see a player all by their lonesome in the red base. He gets taken down, and this is the deadly split spawn that we can see. They can push through. But once again, smart plays from Fireboy. He recognizes the situation. He goes to car 1. He says, you're going to use this entire overshield to find me, or I'm going to get back to my teammate. That's exactly what they do. Top control goes back in the favor of Divine Mind. Is the overshield enough to break? We'll see. Here's to Now's coming up to the fight, and he turns away at the last second. Not going to be able to take that one, but isolates his own fight on Fireboy. Needs to win this one. Fireboy gets a punch in before he dies. But man, talk about a recovery from Late Bloomers. Divine Mind did their best, but it just wasn't quite enough.
And the Bloomers just surprised me every single time I watch them now at the moment, Garrett. Every single time I think they're down in a situation, they manage to still come out on top. A lot of times you see like Here's to Now being pushed, weak shields, and still manage to get a perfect kill onto Sticker. That OS grab was a one-on-one between Here's to Now and one of the Divine Mind players, and he gets a perfect kill in that situation. So nice plays, but despite that, I still think that Fireboy and Sticker always seem to have map control. Look, Undy Tonza's playing his life really, really well here, but he's got to make a move at some point because he'll get spotted out, and or his teammate will get sword on without his help. He just managed to get the cleanup onto Fireboy, so nice shots down from Undy Tonza, backing away, rightfully so. And Here's to Now is searching, soaring for this player. So it's a nice set of kills again for Undy Tonza and Here's to Now. That's 2 in a row, once again for the Late Bloomers, and they are giving it to this Divine Mind squad. Once again, off spawn, Here's to Now soaring in. So it's a nice set of plays, nice playing from Late Bloomers as well. They're using and realizing that the map control is in their favor, and they're pushing in the right time to get these slays onto my minds.
Yeah, look at that. Sticker tried his best to get away. It just wasn't in the cards. And now Fireboy is in that position where he's been so often waiting for his teammate to spawn. Sticker spawns but doesn't have quick help. And now Sticker and Fireboy are going to try to do their best to stay alive, but it's too much. Here's to Now in the perfect spot. He finds the kill, and this is what I love from Tonza, right? Both players go down, you can wait as long as possible to grab that overshield to try to, you know, make sure that you're the only one that knows where it is. Most of the time, Astros are going to be cranked loud enough that that's not really going to be the case. You know, you're going to be able to hear it. But just making sure that you keep it as long as possible, that overshield gives you just that much more advantage is a real key difference. And now Fireboy goes down. Stick is probably going to see the death screen soon. Unfortunately for Tonza, he's been alive for just a bit too long. You got to run forward. He eventually does find some ammo for his pistol. Repping that old OG skin. Love to see as they're going to be able to take this first game unless something drastically changes in the next 20 seconds.
That's a scary sight. Garrett, Undy Tonza, no ammo, running down for a beatdown during that game as well. Yeah, it's beautiful play from Undy Tonza. Really, really good reactions. He's going to get cleaned up eventually on the side of Divine Minds. And I think what we're seeing is exactly what you highlighted before the start of this game. The Divine Minds, when they're down in these games, they become a bit more individually based. You know, they're both sort of young players, both value their talent really, really well, but sometimes that's a disadvantage because they'll just play individually. But now we're seeing them finally regroup again, and despite being down 22-12, they've got 2 sets of slays there now, and next OS is up in about a minute. It's just purely pistol fight for this next minute, and Divine Minds are heating up. Undy Tonza and Here's to Now seem to be separated, but despite that getting a kill onto Sticker, that is a big, big kill to stop the momentum of Divine Minds, and Fireboy's left alone in this situation with Here's to Now waiting for grenades to come down, but Fireboy's realizing his best fight is to try and take it towards Here's to Now. That punch in the air isn't going to help him very much, and Sticker's left alone top middle and just get cleaned up from Here's to Now. So Late Bloomers win our game 2, 25-16 here, Garrett. Quality OS control and a really, really good team play, and that is 1-1 in our series.
And that's the inexperience of Sticker and Fireboy showing at the end. You know, they are a great 2v2 team, but they don't have the reps that more experienced players have. The way that we saw Sticker just run out into the open and try to 5-star player that just spawned up, not taking into account that, hey, the teammate probably spawned 5-7 seconds ago and is in a position to punish. Those are the mental lapses that you can't afford when you're trying to make a massive comeback. I was actually about to say, I have a tenor on this comeback because I see Fireboy and Sticka, they're feeling confident, they're about to make things happen, and I see Sticka, you know, like a bald baby being thrown out into the wild, like just run out and die. It makes no sense. Like, I expect more from Fireboy and Sticka, and I think I will see more in game 3. But here's to now, really going clutch in my opinion. He had great moments where he had to win individual gunfights. He heated up, and that 5-star perfect reversal that we saw him hit at the blue window, to me, was the catalyst of the comeback.
Yeah, I mean, and we're going on board on a Plaza game, and in our last series, Late Bloomers won the Plaza game off the back of Here's to Now snipes. So he is in the perfect position. His momentum's on his side. They finally got back into this series, and that's going to be such a strong, convincing victory from Late Bloomers. They're really living up to their name as well, Garrett, being the Late Bloomers. We saw at the start of that game it being a bit shaky, Divine Minds taking that initial first set of slays and having the early start, but Late Bloomers, you can never count them out. Every single time I think they're going to be just completely collapsed on, completely pushed against, or the pressure's coming their way, they somehow managed to get that one clutch play, like we saw at 22-16, Here's to Now picking up that kill on Fireboy as he was pushing into blue base, and that was really the catalyst towards getting those last few kills and winning that game. So no matter what situation they're in, Here's to Now and Undetonza managed to make the work happen sometimes in these games, and that sniper is going to be pivotal. Here's to Now, he's going to, if he picks it up, he's got to realize that Fireboy and Sticka are going to be like target locating him down, trying to get him and stop him from making those clean headshots, which he got against Cruz and Kronos in that last series we just had. So realistically, it's all going to be played on that sniper. But it's not just that, though. That OS is going to be the first thing up on this map. I'd like to see how both these two teams are going to play it. We saw Undetonza and Here's to Now focus on it. Both two players pushing towards it at the start of our game in our last series, but now Fireboy and Sticka in the play. I'd like to see one of them try and push maybe towards that stairs or towards sniper rifle. But a really nice start from Fireboy. He doesn't get the OS, but he does get the clean onto Undetonza. So once again, OS is burnt, and Late Bloomers have burnt it. But now Here's to Now is left in a tricky situation in blue base all by himself. His teammate does come in to spawn next to him, but Fireboy and Sticka are hunting down. But Sticka's got that sniper rifle, so we can jump on board with him with that, see if he can take some heads.
So I guess Here's to Now getting some revenge on Tonza for the team kill in the previous map. Just not really at the opportune time to take that revenge. Kills his own overshield player and allows Fireboy to pick up that kill. But one thing I need to see from Late Bloomers is they have to get out of their namesake, right? They bloom way too late in these series. They allow Sticka and Fireboy to consistently take leads, and that's what needs to change. Sticka getting this, oh my God, once again. Sticka, we talked about your problem in the previous game. Don't do it to me again. I mean, drop it into a 1v2. Holy hell, man. Value your life. Your life has value. I don't know. You are accepted. You have value. Don't just throw it away, and throwing a sniper to the other team that's a recipe for failure, as Tonza gets right up to top gold. He's laying down damage. He's putting grenade damage in. Sticka trying his best to stay alive. He will eventually win the fight, and now Tonza, he has this 1v1 that he needs to win. He thought he went S4. He thought wrong, and the shots come in. Tonza having to escape. Fireboy eventually spawns up and gets the help. He's doing his best. He's strong-sided. He's running away. He's feeling the pressure. They are coming for him. Tonza, you can't do it again. The magician, no. He finally goes down. That was about a 30-second gunfight. Tonza, you tried your best, but goddamn, I mean, they hunted your ass.
Yeah, and eventually do get the kill, and off the back of that kill Here's to Now, so it's the lead changing once again to Divine Mind's side. I think what we're seeing, though, in those Sticka dropping down to that 1 versus 2 with sniper rifle out as well, is the confidence on the side of Fireboy and Sticka, and sometimes that can be a good thing, but also sometimes it can come back to bite you, especially against these players like Undetonza and Here's to Now, who like to slow play in a lot of situations. Being confidently pushing into 1 versus 2 is not ideal, but look at this. Sticka's picked up Here's to Now at the perfect time. OS on the side of Fireboy. He's got that clean, and it looks like Undetonza is running away for his life once again, Garrett. He spent most of his time sprinting away from players on this map. He is going to be regrouped with Here's to Now quite quickly, and Fireboy still with that OS. He's not playing it too rash, which I like to see. He's trying to find out the situation where these players are on the side of Late Bloomers. Snipe comes out to help him with assist. That's 2 more down. Still some OS left in this game, and Divine Minds, they're slowly heating up in this one.
And that is the difference maker of a team that plays twos versus a team that doesn't play twos. The way that Fireboy took that fight, knowing the confidence they have with Overshield, knowing that he can afford to be out in the open because his teammate had help from Nest, and that I love plays like that. That's just a great play. And once again, I've just seen massive improvement from Fireboy. You know, I remember casting this young man 2 years ago. Well, we're seeing a very different Halo player. I feel as if he's really made strides in his game, specifically in the 2v2 arena. He's been looking great. And now Sticka has a sniper rifle in top control. They know they're spawning over at Tram. This is just looking like an easy cakewalk for Divine Mind to just start running away with this game.
Yeah, I'm seeing flashbacks to game one where both Undetonza and Here's Now stuck in really inopportune places right next to each other, but they've somehow managed to do really well in that situation. Fireboy's a bit overzealous in that one, too confident maybe in getting cleaned up, but it's still a 6-10 lead. I mean, we've said it before, it's going to be a long, slow climb back into this game, but late bloomers have done it before. They've bloomed late. Undetonza decides to throw a nade at Fireboy's head. That's not going to kill Fireboy. Fireboy does get that clean up on the kill, and what I'm seeing in this one is realistically, it's gotten back to that first game where Fireboy and Sticka are just playing so confidently that they just feel like they can just push two players at a time. They might one die, but they'll get the trade, they'll win the initial gunfight, and come out on top. And it's worked out most of the times in this series. Here to Now has got a double kill, which is nice to see, but they're still once again down 3 kills. But that time that double kills came in, OS is right up now, and both aside, I would have liked to see Undetonza try and run for that. He does eventually get it, but he is cleaned up, so realistically that should have been a clean OS for the side of late boomers, but instead they go 2 down, and Sticka and Fireboy have all the map control.
Yeah, it's a miscommunication from the side of late boomers. Like they definitely should have known the overshield time, and that's mistiming, right? And if they're right on top of it, they get that overshield and they can make a push. But if they're half a second off, the opportunity withers away. No shot, they get taken down. Sticka and Fireboy looking confident. Once again, the next sniper rifle probably going to be in Sticka's hands. We saw him hit some great shots before. If he moves his reticle up half a centimeter, we're going to see some Blainer start hitting. But Tonzo with a great flank, and this is beautiful. The collapse is coming in. Fireboy, though, does find the kill. He has the rifle superiority, but not the shot to back it up. Here's to Now going to be able to finally get the sniper rifle. He sees the spawn. Can he take the head is the question. No, that player is going to get out to safety. The biggest thing, though, I see this mistake happen so often with players that are inexperienced. Don't keep your sniper rifle at Nest. It's really not a great spot for your sniper. Be fluid with it. Try to find unique angles. Unfortunately, they're not doing that at the moment. He's staying at Nest, and you see him immediately get punished. They knew exactly where he was. They applied pressure immediately, knowing that, hey, we can afford to give up a couple of deaths. You have to keep your sniper fluid. Be like water. Make sure that you find different angles and you find unsuspecting players. It's exactly what doesn't happen, and it results in a kill going into the side of Divine Minds.
Yeah, I mean, it's textbook from Divine Minds. They sort of located Here's to Now at the sniper rifle, and he just had nowhere to go at that point. By the time those 2 players are pushed in, and again, maybe Here's Now being a bit overzealous himself, pushing in too far, and he is going to get cleaned up, and now Divine Minds are hunting for Undetonza's one shot, and so many times we've seen in this game, Garrett, Undetonza's just having to play his life. So many times, and eventually at this point he does get out on top, and it should be a nice 2 set kills from Here's to Now. He does get the regen eventually, so nice playing in by Undetonza, but he shouldn't have to keep making these plays where he's down bottom middle waiting for Here's to Now to spawn and give him some assists. He is playing his life really well, but the fact that he's gotten into this situation means that his teammates are losing the initial gunfight, which means that you're losing Slays and you're already up against it. So despite Here's to Now getting that nice double kill, 2 kills went on the side of Divine Minds in that same engagement as well. But if we can jump on board with OS, that's Here's to Now, has picked it up at a quite crucial time now. This is the time where you want to get some Slays your way. Fireboy's isolated in that plaza, in that yard. That's 14-17, but behind them, Sticka. He's playing quite sneaky here. I don't think the blue team have realised what he's about. That Astra headsets might have came in there as he heard the footsteps, those sticks both missed. Sticka getting some nice shots though, but Here's Now does clean him up. So that OS came in really crucial. It's 17-15 now for the side of late boomers. They are slowly getting back into this game, but Divine Mind is still on top.
Oh, don't do it, Fireboy. You can't get. Okay, I was about to say Fireboy almost just lost all credibility in this game if you would have lost that gunfight. But Sticka, you know, he says, "Hey, I got you, brother. Stay down. I'll find the double kill and I'll put the pressure up." That was an opportunity for a triple kill if things went right. But man, it's like every time I feel like Tonza and Here's to Now are going to make the comeback, Sticka or Fireboy, they come in clutch. Their experience shows through on the 2v2 game type, and they find a way to punish Tonza though. This time he's able to get the sniper rifle. The question is, can he hit the shots? And I'm going to say it again. Don't stay at Nest. Try to get away. That overshield is going to be coming up soon. You know, maybe try to get to the glass area so you have a clean angle. And that looks like what he's doing right now. I honestly sit at back glass with that overshield. Find different angles. You can jump up to light posts. You can get high angles and punish players. And look at that. What a big thing happened on the other side of the map is now here's to now he finds a kill and they're starting to spawn in between. They're finding these kills at the moment and now they're going to have them trapped over at Nest. This is the spawn trap you're looking for. Sniper rifle is well positioned. Overshield going to be coming up soon. If they can get that overshield to come back, definitely on the table.
I'd like to see Here's to Now try and make that play towards OS, but he's getting pushed down by Sticker on the other side of the map. It's going to be two 1v1 engagements with this OS up on the map now. But Undetoned can't seem to find Fireboy. He's dipsy and diving all over these stairs, and he just take him out, and that's two dead for the side of Late Bloomers and OS. In Fireboy's hands, there's going to be some fresh spawners in. They know exactly where they're going to be spawning. So Fireboy, it's all on him to put the pressure in towards this blue team. They spawned him into blue. That's the worst place you want to be. Some collapses are going to come in for some Divine Minds. That's the worst engagement if you're Late Bloomers you could possibly have. Both you two players come down. You don't get any trades. And OS cleanly on the side of Fireboy at such a crucial time in the game. Only 4 slides left. That's just 2 sets of team kills. And both players on the blue team are locked in blue base.
And that's just the inexperience from the side of Late Bloomers coming out right there. There's no reason for them to lose that overshield. They had the better positioning, but they just didn't know how to play the situation. The situational awareness wasn't there. They ended up going to spots that left them vulnerable and exposed and allowed for Fireboy and Sticka to find better positioning for the overshield, and that could cost them at the end of the day. Now it's going to come up to winning pivotal fights, and Fireboy hasn't been missing much, and he's not going to start now. He's going to be able to find Here's to Now, and now Sticka trying his best to finish off this game. Beautiful nade from the back. Toads, to land your feet on that one. Only 1 kill left to go for Divine Mind to win. Late Bloomers, they're going to be spawning together at blue. Not what you want to see. Sticka checking his corners with the BR. Can he finish it out as he's going to try to run away, and run away he will, because great spot. He lets Fireboy gets in. And Divine Mind, I mean, they just played the end game better. It looked like the comeback was possible. But man, shout out to Fireboy and Sticka playing the situations, winning the individual fights, and eventually taking that game.
Yeah, and I thought it was written on the walls for Late Bloomers as well. They had sniper rifles set up at glass. They had Here's to Now around gold and blue base as well. OS was coming up, and Fireboy and Sticka were spawning at Nest. But it was a play from Sticka. He decided to rotate round to blue, take out Here's to Now, and then Undetoned was forced to sort of react to that, realizing that his teammate wouldn't be able to grab that OS. He had to push with Sniper, gets caught out by Fireboy. That's 2 dead, and the OS on the side, and that really was the catalyst, and that's how we end the game. And that is the series as well. I'd like to shout out Late Bloomers. They've played really, really well. 2 series, which I'd think that they were definitely underdogs for the side, for both of these 2 ones, and they somehow managed to go to game 3 in both of them. They won that initial one against Cruz and Kronos, and they now do drop down to the losers bracket. They're not out of the competition, but Garrett, Divine Minds make it through to our winners finals now, where they will rematch against Cartel 2s.
Yeah, it's just experience. It's really what put them behind, right? Fireboy and Sticka, they play 2s a lot together. They're an established duo. They just had more experience in the situations, and it showed out throughout the game. But now Divine Mind, they're gonna have a piece of jerky that might be too big. They gotta be weary of the ability to choke, because Cartel 2s, they're the best 4v4 players in the EU scene by far. Question is, does it translate as well over the 2s? Can Fireboy and Sticka find the weakness? I'm not sure, man. These 2, they look scary.
Yeah, I mean, the Cartel 2s, they're the reason why Cartel have won so many of our 4v4s. In fact, all of them bar one, when one of their players couldn't make it, Legend couldn't make it, was because of their individual skill being the best in Europe. But also, you can't understate how good teamwork they have in 4v4, and it translates to the 2v2s as well. Both these 2 teams matched up in our grand finals the last time out. They both now match up in the winners finals again this time as well. And Divine Mind being taken to a game 3 by Late Bloomers. Now, Late Bloomers are a really good squad, but it worries me because Cartel 2s are just another force. Garrett, they're effectively, if Fireboy and Sticker are here, they're off my screen. They're off the webcam for sure. But that was a cracking start to our casting duoship here on the Alpha stream. We're just going to jump to a quick break. When we're back, we're going to be on board with the winners finals, Divine Mind versus Cartel 2s.